Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Unleashed. I am Regan Hildebrand. You can find me on social media at Realtor Regan.
And I am Bridget Quinn. You can find me on all social media, B Quinn Realtor. Welcome back, Footpot.
Welcome back.
For
Finale of our little series on loan types and a little explanation. We've covered conventional FHA and VA, and we're going to wrap it up with a little miscellaneous, the potpourri category of Jeopardy.
The potpourri?
I will take potpourri for 400.
How many times can we say that?
As many as we want. As we want. We've covered the big ones in the world.
We've already covered the most common things.
Yeah, this is all that little junk that sometimes you might trip over every once in a while.
Well, and some of them you don't necessarily run into as much, especially if you're in a big city. You may not know about the next one.
Yeah, USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. Might be surprising to know that they dabble in loans in the Department of Agriculture. But yeah, USDA loan is aimed at people who are looking to purchase rural areas. The USDA backs these loans in a way to encourage rural development and to get people out of the big city and out into the country. So there's a map that actually we go by. Eligibility map that shows us non-eligible versus eligible areas for homes. If a home fits in that eligible portion of the map, it'll show, and then it's in the house, the property itself, or the land is eligible for USDA. Whether or not you qualify for it, that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But the big piece is looking at what is the eligibility. Potentiality.
We're just going to make up words now at this stage.
It's just like, Scrabble. You get more points if you can add some more endings to it. Unpotentiality is also a factor. So if you have a USDA eligible property, you may qualify for USDA loan.
There's a little asterisk down there. You may qualify.
And there's different types of USDA. We're not really break down because that doesn't matter as much. But there's guaranteed versus non-guaranteed, or direct versus indirect, other kind of thing. It depends on how you phrase it. But
just know that it's for the little bit less populated, the not urban areas, just to potentially have that 100% financing. That's kind of the short and sweet of it, I think. I mean,
similar to the VA loans that we talked about last episode, no down payment required for them, but you do have to, as an individual applying for them, to fit in a certain bracket. You can't make too much income. You can't make too little income.
Right in there.
And of course, credit scores, as with all loans, that applies, and debt to income ratios apply. But the big thing is income limits are a part of the USDA.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with one?
I have had 3, I believe.
I've had some.
Rare.
I've had some on the seller side of properties that I've listed.
Yeah.
That the buyers have ended up and used it. So
I think one of those 3 was on the seller side.
It took a little bit longer than a conversational, just because you were waiting on the department things, but
that's the big thing to keep in mind, is that they're versus FHA or VA, which are both also government backed. USDA requires someone in the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. to look at the file and stamp it, sign off on it, whatever they do.
A few more people involved in behind the scenes things of making sure that all the ducks are in the row.
Exactly. And the way I describe it is the whole loan can be clear on the lending side, and then it's sitting in somebody's inbox at the USDA office in Washington, and they just haven't gotten to it yet.
And that's what we dealt with one of my listings.
Yeah. And I've dealt with it a couple of those 3 times as well.
I wouldn't say it was excessively long. It was just
a couple extra days.
For me, I think we ended up and had like a week and a half.
Oof. Yeah. And you're at the mercy of the government, which we know sometimes things in Washington, D.C. run a little slower than we'd like. So, it's...
I'm going to no comment that one.
No comment. But yeah,
this is not a political show.
No, but, it's just like, we always say we like to have our due diligence checks sent via FedEx or our deposit checks versus the USPS, because
snail mail.
It runs like a snail. Same thing in other areas as well. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
for
mean,
sure.
aside from all that, maybe taking a few extra days or a week
Typically.
and a half,
Typically.
you're still looking at almost a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's approved, it's by the lender. It's just a matter of somebody making
It's
sure
just,
the
yeah.
paperwork's in line. So
Yeah.
there's not a risk
Mm-mm.
there. Appraisal wise, it works very much like all the others.
Yeah.
Just looking for similar to VA, safe, sound, sanitary. Not a lot of
Mm,
fussing and things
mm-mm.
like that. It's
No, that was, I think, the only thing.
you just got to make sure the property's qualified for it.
I think maybe ours was around a holiday time too, so
Mhm.
because of the holiday extra
Yeah,
days.
it trips you up.
But
Yeah.
anyway.
Anyway, so that's USDA. It's a great option in a rural area. There are some restrictions on manufactured homes with
Mm-hmm.
USDA. They have to be brand new in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
But again, ask a lender to
The
make
ins and
sure.
outs of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Beyond the USDA, though, now we get into that whole grab bag.
Miscellaneous, random.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Debt service credit ratio. Gosh, I can't even remember what it stands for. DSCR
Similar, yeah.
loans are a weird one that typically end up being an investor product
Mm-hmm.
that looks at how much income the property is going to make to qualify you for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that if it came to me, I would refer it to an agent that had the expertise in it
Yeah.
because a lot of these types of products are so, what's the word? Just scarce or rare to use
It's
in our
true.
field that you want somebody who is an
Who's more
expert
the
in it.
expert, yeah.
Yeah.
Dealt with 1031 exchange before.
Yep. That's another
So,
investor one.
investor for like selling a property for another like property and using that.
Basically trading. Yeah. Exchange is the big key on that one. And
Mm-hmm.
our contracts in North Carolina even have a section just for 1031
Yeah.
to disclose that.
I don't personally see them that often in, in our area residential, but
It's
it's,
become a little harder because of how prices have shot up in certain areas.
mm-hmm.
So exchanging like for like can throw some monkey wrenches in
Yeah,
there.
but
Yeah,
it's out there.
it's out there. Then you have the FHA 203 parentheses K, 203K. Those are a special type of loan that are really great for borrowers that see the potential in a house,
Rehab.
a rehab, yeah, flip, that sort of thing, and you know the potential's there, so you want to look at it from that potentiality piece.
Mm,
And you then use a 203K to borrow not only the price of the property, but also roll in the expected value
the
of it
rehab, yeah.
so that you can put that money into it. So you're basically getting an extra chunk of money
Mm-hmm.
to go towards the rehab.
Right.
Very good for, again, those homes that just need a little TLC.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a borrower that might be outside that traditional, being able to borrow the conventional loan with an extra chunk of money, FHA might fit the bill for
Right.
you. Yeah. Aside from that, you get into all these little oddball ones that are usually some kind of investor special.
Yeah, like the hard money
Hard
and
money lending is a great example. Bridge loans.
mm-hmm.
The thing that I think we'd want everybody to take away is you can think outside the box.
Mm-hmm. If there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. I've got so many loan officers that, and I know you've worked with a lot of them in the past as well, that can be creative and take
Mm-hmm.
some weird combination of all this stuff
Mm-hmm.
to make it work for people.
I don't know. That's what they get paid the big bucks for.
Exactly. We stay in our lane. We stay in our lane. We're only here to inform you that they
I'll just
exist.
recommend the people that can get it done.
Yeah,
End
yeah.
of story.
And then slide out of the way.
And then just let me close it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll help you through all the pieces of selecting the property, getting the inspections done, and understanding the due diligence that it takes to get you in there at closing.
Exactly.
But we defer to the experts and the side of the mortgage and the loan business.
Exactly.
But the big piece is don't be afraid to
Mm-hmm.
jump in, even if you think, well, I don't qualify for a 20% down. We started by talking about those conventional ones. You don't have to have 20%
No.
down.
That's a big myth.
You might qualify for zero down.
Mm-hmm.
100% financing. USDA, VA, even some of these oddball conventional ones can be 100%. Probably, it's good to talk a little bit about the conventional loans that aren't 30-year mortgages. You can get an adjustable rate mortgage.
You
can get a 15-year, 10-year, 5-year. Seller financing. Buyer beware on seller financing. Or seller beware, I should say, really.
There's risk on both sides with seller financing.
Yeah, when you're dealing with seller financing, you have the potential of maybe it's a 5 year with a balloon. And the balloon means at the end of that 5 years, you have to pay every dime that's remaining in the balance suddenly. So it balloons.
That just
It blows your mind. Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. But all these little eyeball pieces, it doesn't matter.
Cash is still king.
Cash is still king. Forego everything. Just, bring a duffel bag of money to
Show me the
closing.
money.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't do that, by the way.
Show me the money.
You cannot bring duffel bags to the closing.
No, you don't. Please don't.
Yeah, yeah. But if you think of things, though, that are scenarios that you're not sure of, again, we said before, leave it in the comments. Reach out to us. Our contact information is below as well.
Do kids know what this is anymore?
I don't know. I mean, we talk about hanging up the phone, but whoever hangs up a phone anymore? Yeah.
Give us a call, kids, or like call, whichever way you want to say it.
Right. We're not boomers. I'm in the Gen X. I think you fall in the millennial.
I'm the elder millennial.
The Zennials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, we still hung up phones though.
Yes.
So don't hang up on us.
Roll down that window.
Roll down the window.
Roll back.
Pick up the phone and call us. We'll put you in touch with a good lender that can explain all the ins and outs of the loan process and get you going. But again, the most important piece is we'll touch on these again. So hit that subscribe button down there and hit the little bell so you get notified, and find us on all the social medias. You can find Real Estate Unleashed. We're posting some great stuff on Instagram and TikTok. And you can find me on social media at Realtor Regan.
And you can find me, B. Quinn Realtor. And guess what? We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, everybody.